What is going on and how's it going? My name is Jackie Geisler. I am the CEO and founder of Live Free Fitness, which is a women's health coaching company. And I am just so excited to have you here. I am so excited to have you learning with me, growing with me, and healing, continuing to, I'm sure this is something you've already been focusing on, but continuing to heal your relationship with nutrition. So, we're going to go ahead and dive on in. As you are well aware, this is the Intuitive Eating 101 course. This is designed by me, and this course really was inspired by my experience with my own health journey, my experience with my clients, and just really starting to understand, where people are with their nutrition, where they're trying to go, and what's typically getting in their way. So I am so grateful that you are here, that you are trusting me to help you along your journey. And I'm also, I want to say, I don't, there's a good chance I don't actually know you in person. There's a really good chance that you found this because we connected on social media. And so, regardless of the rest of this course, hopefully you know this by now, but I am somebody who is mental and emotional health and self-love and self-care and self-compassion for me are all equally as part of the journey, and viewing our forward momentum and forward progress as self-love. So the first thing I want to say as we're going to go ahead and dive on in here is just that, like, again, from one woman to, like, from one person to another, again, I don't know you, but I want you to know that I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you that you are showing up for yourself, that you are taking the time for yourself, that you are growing, that you are healing, that you are just learning to be a better version of yourself. It is an ongoing journey. I don't believe that it has an end point, but I want you to know that I am proud of you, and you should also be extremely proud of yourself for showing up here and, like I said, choosing to prioritize yourself and your health and your physical and mental health, and move yourself forward. I'm so proud of you. So be proud of yourself as well. Take a minute, definitely, and just be proud of yourself for showing up. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Our first slide here is, of course, a overview of what to expect within this course. Now, I would highly recommend grabbing a piece of paper, a pen and a piece of paper to take notes with. And I would highly recommend just starting as we start to uncover things and we start to talk about things and I teach you things, I would highly recommend starting to implement them, right? And just starting to think about them and starting to process them and implement what you can. But I am going to give you all of the tools and all of the tips and all of the steps for implementation. So again, number one, make sure you have a pen and paper ready to rock and roll, ready to take notes. And number two, you can already begin thinking about implementing these actions and implementing these actions before the course is even done and before I've actually given you this last bullet point on here that says how to apply this going forward, because it doesn't need to be perfect. Like, you don't have to be a professional intuitive eater by the time this course is over, and then that's that. Absolutely not. You're going to work your way through this course. You're going to start to think about things, start to implement things, and then I'm going to give you actually a 12-week process for how to make this really an ingrained part of who you are. So, course overview. Who is Coach Jackie? That is me. I will be covering that with you very shortly. I just want you to get a better understanding of who I am, where I came from, so that you can, trust the process and trust me that I'm going to guide you along the right path to continue improving your relationship with nutrition. Number two, we are also going to cover who intuitive eating is for. Hopefully, it is for you. If you purchased this course, but nonetheless, whether you kind of fit into one of those major bullet points or not, this course will still help you. This course will still serve you benefit. This course will still, again, going back to like the true nature of this is to help you improve your nutrition, and improve your relationship with food and your nutrition habits and your nutritional psychology, etc. And then, of course, in turn, depending on what kind of goals you have, it will help with those. But again, it's really geared towards some of those those things that I mentioned. We are also going to cover, of course, the good stuff, intuitive eating overview. So I'm going to give you a broad overview here in this intro video, and then we are also going to break everything down step by step in great detail, okay? So you'll know how to actually implement and why it is important to implement each of the steps of introduction. So this is Intro to Intuitive Eating 101, okay? And then, of course, I am going to talk to you guys about food logging, not from a place of assuming that you are going to food log from the moment this course is over. Food logging is not for everybody, but I am going to cover the benefits of food logging because I do believe it has a lot of benefits. And I'm also going to cover different types of food logging because there's not a one size fits all approach to anything at all, and definitely not to food logging. And then lastly, like I said, I'm going to give you a 12-week plan for applying this going forward, how to make this a part of your everyday life, how to integrate this into who you are. And then lastly, in addition to the how to apply this going forward, you will have some resources which we will cover throughout these modules, and in the last module as well. I will cover in detail what the resources are that I will be providing you with. And then lastly, for this slide, for the how to apply this going forward, I will also be sharing with you some additional trainings and additional resources. The additional trainings are actually directly from my one-on-one coaching program. I have a handful of one-on-one coaching programs, but my main one-on-one coaching program is called Freedom Foundation. And in Freedom Foundation, we actually teach calories and macros. And then my Freedom Acceleration program, we teach intuitive eating and so much more. But I have a couple of resources that I pulled directly from their modules that I think would be applicable for you. And then I also pulled a couple additional resources like my recipe guide, etc., to help you along your nutritional journey. Okay, so that is what we are going to cover in this course. Our objective is to get you in a place. I always tell my clients my goal is to get them from point A to point Z. Point A is wherever you are right now, and point A is perfect. And point Z is where you can eat the right amounts of food intuitively. You can eat healthy. You can eat balanced. It's second nature. It just comes to you, and you can treat yourself, but you don't feel guilty for treating yourself. And treats are treats. They're not every day. They're treats. And you can have the not so healthy things, but they're just less frequent. And when you do, you don't feel guilty. So let's go ahead then and dive on in with our next topic, Jackie Geisler. Who is she? That is me. I am a women's health and self-love coach. You can see this picture of me on the left is actually me my senior year of college. You can see actually there's a bottle of liquor behind me. There is, I can't even, sometimes looking at this picture or other pictures from college make me cringe. You can see there's a bottle of, it looks like peach Amsterdam or something in my mouth. My face is just dead. Nobody is home. My body is carrying extra weight. And essentially, just a quick little bit of and then there's me on the right. And then I'll give you a little bit of background. Then there's me on the right. That was actually a picture from last summer. And I might add that at the time of this recording, my glutes have grown approximately about 1.5 to 2 inches since last summer. And my triceps, I'd say, are a little bit more toned. But I've definitely been, at the time of this recording, pumping the glutes going into summer 2022. So the girl on the left was an entirely different woman than the girl on the right, and also than the girl that's in this recording right now. In college, I went to college, and that was kind of my first time away from home. And in college, I developed a terrible relationship with myself, my body, my nutrition, and alcohol. I was a binge eater. I was a binge drinker. I was really, really, really hard on myself. I was living in constant friction. I was terrible to myself mentally and verbally. I would look at myself in the mirror and I would just bash myself. I would be walking home from the library and it wouldn't matter if I got done a lot of work. It was just all in all, like I was never good enough. And I felt just like so just complacent in who I was and passive in who I was, yet also just so distraught about who I was every day, day in and day out. I was not happy with who I was. Also, side note, as a side note, we do things imperfectly here. You're going to see me pause the video. Sometimes I need to take a sip of water. I have a gallon of water next to me here. You're going to see spelling errors. You're going to see, if we go back a slide, you're going to see things where these just aren't even centered. It's okay. My goal isn't to deliver you a like visually perfect course or perfectly aligned course, or I don't even have makeup on as I'm recording this video. I don't have makeup on. My hair's up in a high ponytail. I went to the gym this morning. So there's imperfections, and that's the beauty of it. It's like hopefully anything that comes up errors wise in this training, I'm okay with 100%, and I hope it inspires you to take imperfect action, because at the end of the day, like we're still moving forward even if you're taking imperfect action. So I was saying here that, the girl on the left, I remember, I remember there being a day, I want to say sophomore year, I stood on the scale and I saw 159. I remember freaking out. It was the heaviest I had ever been. I would like put my hands over the screen. It was, it was the heaviest I had ever been. And I was a 2-sport college athlete, but just because you're a college athlete doesn't mean you're healthy mentally, physically, emotionally. And my relationship with nutrition definitely was not a healthy one. I was binge eating and binge drinking on the weekends regularly. So, I discovered physical health. I started doing personal training at a big corporate gym in New York City. I got my nutrition coaching certification, and I discovered self-love, and I've just really been working on myself, and I help others heal because I helped myself heal. And I know that it can absolutely be a life-changing experience to work on yourself deeply and to create massive amounts of change in your life. So that is just a little bit about me to go ahead and give you that background. Next thing we're going to be covering is who is intuitive eating for. So intuitive eating is for somebody who is wanting to lose weight. Now, of course, this could also be for somebody not wanting to lose weight, but from a weight loss perspective, intuitive eating is a way to, right? If you've ever heard of the theory of thermodynamics, basically it's calories in, calories out. If you want to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit because your body will expend the excess energy and you will lose weight, right? So in a simple sense. Now, if you think about diets across the board or meal plans across the board, whether it be intermittent fasting or keto or paleo or vegan, or following a meal plan or a Beachbody meal plan, whatever it is, if you think about all those things across the board, all those different approaches, basically what they're doing is, number one, they're bringing attention and awareness to your eating and eating habits. And number two, in essence, through paying attention, you're cleaning things up and or you are reducing the amounts of food that you are taking, whatever diet it is, whatever meal plan it is. In theory, right? And from a simple sense, I understand. I've been doing this for years now, and I understand that there's so much more to weight loss than just a calorie deficit. There's so much more, right? Food quality, hormones, stress, hydration, sleep. There's so much more involved. But from a simple sense, excluding everything else and just dumbing it down to a mathematical equation, which again, I'm fully aware that there's so much else involved, and you should be as well. It is not just a simple like, okay, well, if I eat 1,600 calories, I'm going to lose weight. That's not how it works. And that number was just an example. There's no magic number. But in theory, right, a meal plan or a diet is going to have you again, either A, paying attention to the food that you're putting in your body, which will help you change, or it will A, help you pay attention to what's going in your body, and B, help you eat less food. So, intuitive eating, if you are trying to lose weight, is doing that, but you're just not going to follow a diet and you're not going to follow a meal plan because you will intuitively calorie cut. But you will also do so in a way that is beautiful and tied into and listening to your body and your body's natural hunger and fullness, your body's natural, like your body's natural ebbs and flows of energy, etc. So, again, you know, intuitive eating, if you're trying to lose weight, this could be a really great tactic. If you look at bullet point number 3 here, you don't want to follow a diet and you don't want to track calories or macros. You don't want to do any of that tracking. You don't want to follow a meal plan, which I get. Those things are intimidating. They aren't a forever fit for everybody, or a forever fit for anybody. But nonetheless, the other ideas on here, right? If you are looking to maintain the weight that you've already lost, let's just say you've lost 60 pounds, maybe you've got 10 more to go or so, or none left to go, and you want to start to transition into an intuitive eating style because maybe you lost weight by counting calories and macros, but now it's time to go ahead and put MyFitnessPal away. This is also for you. And then just in general, whether you want to lose weight or not, if you don't want to follow a diet, you don't want to track calories, then this could also be a really, really great option for you. And then lastly on here is improving your eating habits in general health. Because whether you want to lose weight or not, whether you want to maintain your weight or not, maybe you want to gain weight, if you don't want to, well, gaining weight would be different, but if you don't want to follow a diet, if you don't want to track calories, if you don't want to log your food, etc., but you simply want to improve your eating habits and improve your general health, then intuitive eating will be incredibly helpful for you. So let's go ahead and make our way to the last slide here for this introduction video. And in this introduction video here, I wanted to give you an overview for intuitive eating. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 habits of intuitive eating that we are going to be covering in detail. So we're going to be covering eating slowly, why you need to eat slowly, and how you can eat slowly. We're going to be covering eating to 80%. What is 80%? How do you find that magical 80%? And how can you implement that? Number 3, we'll talk about eating when hungry. And this one does have some exceptions. And I would like to be transparent about that up front. We're going to talk about eating mindfully. We're going to talk about eating real food and eating balanced. These 6 things are the key components of intuitive eating. So without further ado, we are going to dive into these 6 things in detail to get you super, super crystal clear on what you need to be implementing for these when it comes to intuitive eating, anti-diet, anti-calories, anti-tracking. So I will see you in the next training.